Jewish population before the Holocaust was over 16 million. 6 million of that population lost their lives. Families wiped out. Whole communities completely wiped out. It's a genocide that should not be forgotten, but it's not the only genocide that should not be forgotten. There are dozens more. I'm a professor in the Department of Journalism and the Writing Professions at Baruch College, which is one of the senior colleges in the City University of New York, and I started teaching here in September of 1988. So this is my 64th semester teaching here. So I've seen a lot of changes. Kristallnacht was the event that took place in November 9th and 10th of 1938. A young Jewish boy assassinated a low-level Nazi German diplomat in Paris. And the Nazis used this as a pretext to essentially attack Jewish communities all over Germany and in parts of Austria. And that event historically is the beginning of the Holocaust, ending in 1945 when Germany lost World War II. So my family, this is my maternal grandmother and grandfather and the 4 siblings, were in Leipzig, Germany when that took place. And they had to actually escape their apartment building, and they were wandering on the streets to avoid the Nazi gangs, the thugs, really. When they went back to their apartment, the apartment was completely destroyed. I don't know how many years ago, but my Aunt Ruth, this is the youngest sibling, she decided to write a book for her family about her life story, and this is it. And of course she called it the Book of Ruth, like one of the books in the Bible. And one of the chapters in this book is about that experience in Leipzig during Kristallnacht. Kristallnacht, by the way, means the night of broken glass. When I read the chapter about her experience in Leipzig during Kristallnacht, it inspired me to write a piece of music which appears on this album, Mosaica, which is one of the 8 albums that my Heritage Ensemble has recorded, which we also perform. I recorded one version, and then I thought to myself, you know, it would be more interesting if I had some actual comment or voiceover material on that track done by my Aunt Ruth.
There was a venerable old man in a dark suit and coat being dragged by the beard and beaten by the Nazis, wearing black boots. Shops owned by Jews were smashed in and looted. Windows were empty. Glass was everywhere. There were violent crowds getting thicker, and there was the smell of smoke. There it was, the synagogue, the center of our life, where my father was cantor, in flames. My heart sank, but my mother tugged at my hand and we walked on, outwardly unconcerned, inwardly in turmoil.
The documentary short essentially tells a story, not just my family's experience in Leipzig during Kristallnacht, but the larger Jewish family in Germany and in Austria over those 2 days of November 9th and 10th in 1938. Yes, the experience comes from my immediate family, but it tells the larger story. I was born in London, England, during World War II, in between 2 bombing raids. I shouldn't be here, but fortunately I am, to be able to have this conversation.
People were disappearing. Some said to have jumped from windows, but we knew they'd been pushed. Names of friends and relatives who continued to go missing day after day were spoken of in whispers. The fear was deep and relentless. My father vanished. Where was I when he was taken to the concentration camp? For many years, I never discussed the worst day of my childhood with anyone. I didn't know that it even had a name until quite recently, when Kristallnacht received worldwide publicity on its anniversary